Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Tim, aka the Frugal Travel Guru, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you 10 Greyhound bus travel tips. Now, these are tips that I have compiled after years of riding the Greyhound bus and numerous, there's so many trips on Greyhound in the past 5 years or so, I can't even count how many, so many like cross-country, 2-3 day trips. I've done my time on the Greyhound. I did my time on the Greyhound bus, and one of the things I learned was that a lot of people really don't know what to expect when they're traveling on the Greyhound bus. The first time on the bus, I see so many people just so confused, and so I wanted to make this video and just talk about like 10 points that you really need to know before you get on the Greyhound bus. So let's go ahead and get started. So our first two tips actually deal with purchasing your ticket. And the first tip is that as soon as you figure out that you want to take a Greyhound bus trip, go ahead and purchase your ticket. And the reason you want to do this is because Greyhound offers discounts for advance purchasing your ticket. And 14 days is kind of the sweet spot. If you can book your ticket 14 days, 2 weeks or more in advance, there are some serious savings, anywhere between 15 all the way up to like 50% off. I've actually seen this. I've seen 50% savings before. It may not always be that much, but anywhere from like 15 to 50% savings, definitely worth it. So book your ticket in advance as soon as you know you're going to take your trip. Our second tip also deals with purchasing your ticket, and that is the fact that you want to buy your ticket from Greyhound.com or from the Greyhound mobile app. Greyhound.com, Greyhound mobile app, you do not want to go to the station. It is not 1987. Greyhound offers discounts if you use the website or if you use the mobile app. Tickets are cheaper if you buy them online or use your phone than if you go down to the station. And the reasoning behind this is Greyhound really doesn't want people coming up to the station bothering their employees using cash buying tickets. So what you really want to try to do when buying your ticket 14 or more days in advance and go on the internet, you will save. Sometimes that can bring your ticket down 30, 40, 50%. So definitely check into that. Let's move on to tip number 3. Our third tip is that you want to get to the station on the day that you're departing, on the day your bus is leaving. You want to get to the station at least like an hour ahead of time. Now I already know, you're like, I ain't trying to be up at that Greyhound station all day. I ain't trying to be sitting up there an hour. I know a lot of people, they want to just like 5-10 minutes before the bus, run in there, hop on the bus. That ain't the way to do things at Greyhound. Take my advice for this. Like I said, someone who's rode the Greyhound and sat at many a station, and I didn't see all what goes on up there. You want to get to the station early, at least an hour. The reason for that is if a lot of people do e-tickets now. A lot of people do e-tickets. It's on your phone. If that's the case, cool. But some people still do like the print at home option. So if you need to get in there and get your ticket printed, that gives you time. Sometimes there are lines. Sometimes at the Greyhound ticket counter, there can be long lines. You don't know what's happening at that station before you get there. There could have been like a bus that got canceled, an overbooked bus, and there's people up there trying to get tickets. You don't want to end up missing your bus because you can't get to the counter and get your ticket printed because you only got there 15 minutes in advance. So, you want to get there early for that reason, and also too, so you can just get there and figure out where your bus is leaving from. I see people all the time trying to figure out where the bus is leaving from. They almost miss their bus because they got to the station late, and then they're just running around. They can't get help from anybody. Some people sadly miss their bus. Then you're sitting up there another 8 hours just because you don't want to get there an hour to 45 minutes early. Also too, another reason you want to get to the station early is because you want to get in line to board your bus as soon as possible. ASAPs. I'm telling you, as soon as they open up that line, or they say, or they say, this is where your bus is going to be boarding, get in line. You want to be on the bus first, or as soon as possible, because the people who get on the bus first get to pick their seat first. And if you get on the bus and there's already some people on it, and there's some crazies, or some people that, you smell them when you're walking up the aisle. If you get on the bus first, you won't have to sit by those people. But if you're one of the last people on the bus, you're going to end up having to sit by the guy with his hands down his pants. Okay? You've seen it. So get to the station early, get everything done you need to get done, use the bathroom, whatever, get in the line, get on the bus first. Moving on, tip number 4, always keep your eye on your baggage. When you, the whole time you are on the Greyhound network taking your trip, keep your eye on your luggage. Now, I know some of y'all used to be in airports in other places, and you can kind of, you know, put your bag down and maybe walk off and do something over there. Or if you're eating in the airport, you put your bag beside you. You don't really think. This Greyhound is different. You're not in the airport. Remember that throughout your whole trip. You're not you're not at the airport, right? Keep your eyes on your bags at all times. There will be some Greyhound stations that you will feel more comfortable. There will be some Greyhound stations where you are like, oh, okay, this is where I'm at. Okay. But just to be safe, always keep your eye on your bags. Never put your bag somewhere, let them out of your sight. Even when you like go in the bathroom, I will my bags in the bathroom, in the stall with me when I'm at stations. Always keep your eyes on your bags. Because I have seen people plotting on people's bags trying to steal them. And when I say bags, I'm also talking about things like, you know, purses, backpacks, cell phones. That's a big one. People will plug their phones in at the charging banks in the station and just walk away. And then they come back, ain't no cell phone. Ain't no cell phone or the charger. They'll steal both. So keep your eyes on your bags, on your valuables. One good way to do this is to make your bag stand out. Either buy a bag that is just like some weird colors or camouflage or My Little Pony or something crazy. Or what I like to do is trying to see if I have one handy. I don't have one. What I like to do is like the little plastic Walmart bags or something like that. I just tie it around the handle of my bag. I tie a plastic Walmart bag around the handle of my bag. That way it kind of stands out. There was one time I got real ghetto and I taped like notebook paper all over the side of my bag. It was ghetto. It was ghetto. I don't know why I didn't just, how I had tape and paper but not a bag. Anyway, make your bag stand out. This is useful when they're loading your bag onto the bus. A lot of times you'll put your bag in the little cart. You'll get on the bus. I know people who've done that and then they got to their destination, their bags weren't there. So always try to watch out the window, make sure you see them put your bag under the bus. Keep your eye on your luggage. Moving on, tip number 5. This is one that some people disagree with me on. I say always sit near the front of the bus. In the back of the bus is where the weird stuff goes on. In the back of the bus, they smoking weed, they drinking, they might be doing a little, you know, fornication-age. I don't know. I always sit up front. You got the driver right there. If anything goes down, the driver can overhear it. She knows what's going on. She can put a stop to it. If you're way in the back, then they don't hear it. If it finally gets up to the driver's ears, then it's he said, she said, all this stuff. Sit in the front, I'm telling you, save you all that hassle of sitting back there with all the crazy people. Trust me on this one. Tip number 6. When possible, don't use the bathroom on the bus. Okay, I know one of the things Greyhound puts out there is that they got bathrooms on all their buses, and they do. But the bathrooms are in varying stages of cleanliness. Think about it. Basically, a Greyhound bus bathroom is just like a porta potty in the back of the bus. There's a toilet with the infamous blue liquid in it. It doesn't flush. You know, there's toilet paper, usually some paper towels, a mirror. That's about it. Right, and this porta potty is getting shoved, you know, jostled around the whole trip. Somebody goes in there and drops a deuce, and then, you know, the bus is moving around, some of that plot. Basically what I'm saying is you really, even though Greyhound tries to keep their bathrooms clean, if it's 3 hours or more between the times that they stop and clean the bathroom and 10 people have gone in there, that's 10 people who, you know, might have peed all over it and pooped all over it, and who knows, you're the 11th person in there. It's filth. It's disgusting. So just when possible, use the bathroom at the stations. Those are usually a little cleaner. They usually have someone there to clean them. Or on meal breaks, you know, use the bathrooms in the McDonald's or the Arby's or the Flying J, wherever the bus stops. But just be advised, those bus bathrooms. Okay, moving on. Tip number 7. Speaking of meal breaks, so the bus will stop every 2 to 3 hours usually for bathroom breaks, meal breaks. They usually stop at like a fast food restaurant or one of those really big truck stop gas stations. Usually stop somewhere where you can get something to eat. Pay attention to the driver's directions during these stops. I'll tell you why. Because I don't know how many times I've seen this. The driver will say, hey, we got 25 minutes here. And the driver will usually say, hey, McDonald's is right there. You know, the Conoco's right there. Get you something. We're going to leave at 9:25. At 9:27, the driver who waited a few minutes starts to pull off. And there's always some dude running from the Conoco to catch the bus. Or, you know, we get about a mile down the road and someone's like, hey, where's bro at? And some dude got left. Like, the driver has a schedule to keep. They do not come back there and check to make sure everyone's back on the bus. I know a lot of people think that they should. No, they have a schedule to keep. Y'all are adults, okay? If the driver says 25 minutes, he or she is leaving in 25 minutes. You will get left. So pay attention at meal breaks and bathroom stops so you don't, you know, end up in the middle of, you know, Tumbleweed, Texas on a Tuesday night and the next bus ain't till Thursday. All right, moving on. Tip number 8, know your layovers and transfers. And I'll also add to this, like, know your destination station. Like, pay attention to your ticket, pay attention to your itinerary. No matter where you buy your ticket, at the station, online, the app, there will be an itinerary. If you buy at the station, there will be an itinerary printed out. It will tell you your transfers and, you know, where you have layovers and the length of the layover. It will tell you when your destination stop comes up. It is not the driver's obligation to tell you what's going on. This is not, the driver will call all the stations and things like that, but he's not going to be like, hey, Todd, this is where you get off. Like, no, you have to pay attention to all of that. And I see people every trip, who just like wake up at a station and don't know if this is where they're supposed to get off the bus or what's going on. Check your itinerary. It will tell you when you're supposed to change buses. It will tell you how long the layover is. There shouldn't be any surprises. You know, I've taken 3-day Greyhound trips, lots of layovers, lots of long 8-hour layovers, you know, lots of layovers. Never had any problems. You just pay attention. All right, number 9. We're getting to the end here. One of my favorite tips, stay inside the station at night. I don't know why you have to tell people this. A lot of Greyhound stations not in the best areas. You don't want to be outside the station at night, sometimes even during the day, but definitely at night. I know people like to go outside and smoke. A lot of people think they're gonna go outside and, you know, buy some weed or whatever, you know, go down to the store, get something to drink, you know, even just to walk to something to eat. If you are in an unfamiliar area at a Greyhound bus station and it looks a little rough outside, you see dudes milling around or all kind of crazy, stay inside. You will get robbed. I'm just gonna say, you will get robbed. It has happened. I know people personally walked outside the Atlanta station, went a block over, got robbed. Had to do his rest of his trip, you know, with no food, no cash, no backpack, just what he had on him. That's rough. So yeah, stay inside the station. Now, if you got a group with y'all want to mob somewhere, risk it, okay. But you by yourself, solo traveling, stay inside the station. Now, finally, tip number 10. One of the things when you're riding Greyhound, just expect delays. Plan on having delays. A lot of people, once again, you're not on the plane, you're not on the train, you're not on one of those services that's just, you know, the Greyhound bus has to travel on the road. Planes in the sky, they can usually get there on time. Greyhound bus has to deal with weather, they have to deal with traffic, driver shortages, you know, drivers getting sick, crazy passengers on the bus that make the bus have to pull over and they have to call the cops. All this stuff goes on. Greyhound is a vast bus network. So there's all kinds of stuff going on. You know, all these buses going out every day. There's going to be delays. Expect delays. If you go into it expecting it, it won't be so bad when it happens. If my ticket says I'm going to get there Tuesday at 1 p.m., I never expect to be there Tuesday at 1 p.m. I don't even tell my ride, if I got someone picking me up, that I'm coming at Tuesday at 1 p.m. I'm like, on Tuesday at noon, I'll call you, tell you where I'm at. There's going to be delays. There's going to be times your layovers are going to run longer. There's going to be times that your bus trip is going to take longer. There's going to be times that, you know, there may not be a driver for your next leg of the trip. You have to wait. Expect these delays. If you go into it expecting these delays, you won't get aggravated. I see people get all bent out of shape. I got a wedding to go to. I got this to go to. I can't be late. Dude, don't ride Greyhound then. Fly. Like, if you're on Greyhound, expect delays. So, I'm Tim, the Frugal Travel Guru. I know this was a long video, but hopefully you stuck with it the whole time, because these are tips you really need to know if you're going to be traveling via Greyhound. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to y'all later. Stay blessed. Stay traveling.